All right, hello and welcome back, everybody. This is David with Fairmare's Rangers, and I wanted to give you a recap of Week 2 and look ahead to what we're going to be facing for Week 3 in our 4v4 tournament on the multiplayer platform of Empire Total War. So let's take a look at things. We got two divisions, Group A and Group B. In Group A, we have Spain, France, Huron and Iroquois, Cherokee Plains and Pueblo, United Provinces, United States, Great Britain versus Austria, Prussia, Ottoman Empire, Poland, Lithuania, Maratha Confederacy, Sweden, and Russia for the other group. Now, how this is going to work is the top two records of the division or group are going to go and face off in a playoff. So you would have, right now as it stands, you would have Austria and Prussia going to battle against each other to see who goes to the championship, and Spain and France. So, for example, if Spain was to win versus France, they go to the championship game. And if Prussia wins against Austria, for example, then they would go to the championship and face off for the title of who is the best nation in this season. All right, and there's a tiebreaker, and that's all based on points. As you can see here, this is your kills, how many kills you get in each battle. You get points for it. So that's what the tiebreaker is going to be, is who has the most kills. So right now, the tiebreaker, as all these 1-1 teams, you have the Huron and Iroquois, who have racked up 10,127 kills. The Cherokee coming in with a near second, 10,525, and then you got the United Provinces coming in really close behind that with 10,062 kills. So that's how that's going to work out. So right now we got Spain sitting at the top of the division with a record of 2-0. France with a record of 1-0. They had a bye week in Week 2, so they are freshening up for their Week 3 battle. And then we have the Huron and Iroquois, who are 1-1. Cherokee Plains and Pueblo, 1-1. United Provinces, 1-1. United States, 0-1. Great Britain, 0-2. And obviously, since there's 7 teams in each division, you're going to have a bye week every week, or a bye team every week. So one team will sit out each week, because obviously you can only get 3 battles and one's going to be left out in the cold. All right, so in this division, this is an interesting division here, guys. We only have one undefeated team, and it's the 1-0 Austrians. If they were to take a loss next week, then no team is going to have an undefeated record in this division. And, of course, in this one, all you have is Spain. So you can see here that it's not necessarily going to be a perfect team that's going to win this thing. There's going to be probably every team that is going to have some kind of loss. So, obviously, most of these teams are 1-1. Prussia, Ottoman, Poland, Lithuania, and Maratha are all 1-1. Sweden as well with 1-1, and Russia at 0-1. So, right now we have 2 winless teams, Great Britain and Russia. They need to get off that snide and get a win. So we'll see if they can get that done. Now, let's take a look at the matches coming up for round 3. We have Spain, who is coming in and taking on France. And France is looking to get their second win of the season and stay perfect on the season, as is Spain. So this is going to leave just one of these teams with a winning record. A perfect record. So it's going to be very crucial to see who wins this battle. It's going to have the lead in the division, whoever wins this. So that's going to be interesting, as last week France took out Great Britain, and Spain has taken out both of the native factions. So they're pretty dominant versus the natives that took out both of those 2 nations. And then you got the United Provinces. They're going to be taking on the Cherokee, Pueblo, and Plains. And their last battles, the first battle, they took on United States and got a win, and then lost to the Huron. So we'll see if they can take out the other native faction or nation. It's a combo, so we could not, so we get even teams. But anyways, let me get back to this. United States is looking to get a win as they are 0-1, and they are up against the Huron. So that is the other. So we got 3 winless teams: United States, Great Britain, and Russia, all winless. All right, so that's our battles that are going to be taking place for Group A. For Group B, we're going to be taking on Poland, Lithuania, and Russia. So Russia maybe going to try and get their first win. Poland, Lithuania, 1-1. They lost the Ottomans and then won versus Maratha. Very convincing fight versus Maratha. And you can see here that they lost just as convincingly against the Ottomans did the Polish Lithuanians. So the high highs and the low lows for Poland, Lithuania. We'll see what happens in that battle. And then we got Prussia taking on the Maratha Confederacy. Now, this one is interesting. Prussia lost the first week to Austria, and then went on to face the Ottoman Empire and got their first win. So now they take on the Maratha Confederacy. That should be a really good one. Now, this one's going to be on the Maratha home turf, and it will be the Syrian Ridge. So that one's going to be a fairly tough match for Prussia, as that home field advantage that Maratha has is going to be pretty tough to beat. Now, the Ottomans are going to be taking on the Austrians, and this is an Ottoman home field advantage, so also going to be playing on the Syrian Ridge. The Ottomans and the Marathas get that heat fatigue resistance, so that's pretty big. I mean, that's a big factor. And Austria, being a very aggressive nation that they are, that means a lot of running and attacking, and that can really wear you out. So we'll see how Austria fares and what kind of strategies that the Austrians can come up with to maybe try to win on the Ottoman turf, because the Austrians have coming into this with a record of 1-0 in the top of the division. And this is not going to be an easy fight for them to win. If they do win this, that's a big stride forward for the Austrians, going to 2-0. So it's going to be interesting to see how that match turns out. And then we got, we got round 4. Let's see, this is going hidden. Week 4, we'll get to that later, but you can see that we have all the way until round 14 is our last week of the season. So we got quite a way to go. Quite a way indeed. So each team is going to play 13 games. So even a team that is 0-2 right now can really turn this around. Who knows? Maybe the Great Britain can end up with an 11-2 record. Anything can happen, but we're going to have to wait and see. It's all up to Great Britain to get their little bottoms fixed, as they've been getting them spanked pretty hard. And the Great Britain is actually sitting out this week, trying to regroup. Maybe they need to do some meditation before they take on Spain in week 4, because they definitely haven't been feeling themselves. They got bounced out by the Cherokee Plains and Pueblo in week 1 and got their little heinies spanked. Probably the worst defeat of any nation so far against France. They only had 3,700 kills in that match. That's pretty bad. Let's see. That might be the worst one. Whoops. We'll have to take a gander at that. So let's see who had the worst loss of any nation yet. Actually, Maratha Confederacy so far that I can see. No, actually it's Poland-Lithuania. Poland-Lithuania took the worst loss against the Ottomans, and right behind that, Maratha and then Great Britain. Now for the best wins, see who had the biggest kill count so far. Poland-Lithuania, 5,700. And then you got Spain with 5,878. So really strong performances there. Like I said, the high highs of Poland-Lithuania and the low lows of Poland-Lithuania. And then obviously we got Spain with some pretty impressive matches, coming in with a winning record of 2-0. for this next week. So it's going to be some great matchups. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as much as I am. And we will start having these battles rolling out as soon as we can. Probably Wednesday will be the first battles for this week. Week 3, or round 3. Week 3, I guess. So we will see you there. I appreciate you guys as always for joining us. This is David with Fair Rangers, and we'll see you on the next one.